This is a new category that every detailer is going to want in their shop.
We are so excited about today. We've got some awesome new stuff, but first, let's recap the last year. So let's start 1 year ago. We released Frostbite, then we released Rehab. Fast forward about 6 months to SEMA, we released a new fragrance, our Glacier Ebony Ice. So it's kind of a musky scent. This happens to be one of my favorite. I've loved this one for a long time. So this has been a big hit, great, love it. And then
Express Wipes, which seems obvious after you've done it, right? I mean, you're just like, well, why didn't we come up with that right away?
Yeah.
But it's so convenient to use.
Then let's move to this. So Glass Finisher Reflect. This was one that it had a little bit of a slower release after SEMA came out, and it was one that I knew I loved it, but right from day one, everyone said, when is it gonna be in a gallon? That's when you know you have something, right? So then the last thing we released at SEMA was a new coating. We came out with Stout, and it was something a long time in the making to, find exactly what we wanted a coating to do. Stout has far exceeded everything that I wanted. Absolutely love it. So our first new product for TRCMA is the Creamsicle scent, which is the essence of Swift. So we're super excited to round it out the line with this one. You guys are gonna love it. So that's our first new product. And then what do you think's next?
One of the things that we loved about Rehab was all the characteristics that Rehab had was ease of use, no dusting, easy wipe off. It was really the overall performance of Rehab that really spawned what we now call the P&S Paint Recovery Series.
Yeah.
And we also love the name Rehab.
Yeah.
And so the concept was, let's play off the unique name of Rehab and bolt on 2 additional products, which we know, even though we love the performance range of Rehab, which is massive, right?
Yeah.
Final finish to, man, you can almost cut anything with Rehab. And actually, Rehab made it a challenge to launch the other 2 products because of the wide range. We'd be like, so why are we doing this? Rehab just works. But we know that we need what? We need something that has more correction, and then at times, we need something that has less correction.
More refinement.
More refinement. Which one do we want to talk about first?
So let's talk about Intervention. Intervention is, like we said, a heavier cut compound. So this is going to be for heavy defect removal, and then that moves us into therapy.
Therapy was designed to be that either a second step after Intervention, right? Because note, these are both in the Double Black family, and Rehab is in our Pro Series family. So this essentially is designed to be step 1 aggressive, step 2 the final finish, right? Inside the Double Black family. And people should know that these will be replacing some products. So Ego Maker will go away, and Deep Finish and Envy will go away because Therapy will be the offset for that. And we will be releasing these products in quarts and 8 ounce. And one of the things we found out with Rehab is the 8 ounce is so popular and so easy. I mean, you can just pop this in your pocket, in your apron, wherever you want. It makes it very easy. So these will be available in 8 ounce and quarts.
So we're super excited. So what are we calling this?
P&S Paint Recovery Series.
Paint Recovery Series,
And if you look on the label, you zoom in there, there's actually a special logo that's designed called P&S Paint Recovery Series.
So that was something that we made them set enough apart that you didn't feel like you were buying, that you had 2 bottles that kind of did the same thing. So they all stand on their own and do their own job very well.
And also have the similar characteristics of Rehab, where low dusting,
easy wipe off.
Sexy wipe off, right?
Right.
So that was one of the features that
No
we
hiding.
wanted. Huh?
No hiding.
No hiding, no fillers. Yeah, that's a gift here. No fillers. But that was really important when we were making these things, because one of the things that we learned about Rehab is that the actual correction process of polishing became so easy because the tool glides, right? And then when you're done, there's no dust, and then the wipe off. So Intervention, even though it's a compound, it still has that similar no dusting formula, and then the easy wipe off, and same with Therapy as well.
Which who does not want a compound that can wipe off easily?
Exactly.
I mean, geez Louise. Now, the last product, I am going to try to contain my excitement here so that it doesn't get crazy, but we all know how much Dave does not like when we use his products for unintended purposes. I feel like it was 5 years ago SEMA time, and I said, hey Dave, did you know that you can vacuum with paint gloss? And Dave said, Sydney, paint gloss is a quick detailer for the outside of the car. And I said, yeah, but it was really great to vacuum with. And he thought I was crazy. Well, then it kind of got spun out of control, right? And now everybody uses paint gloss to vacuum. So this year we sat down and decided,
What if we did something that actually had the
it was
components
intended
that
for that purpose.
what
that
if
was
we
intended
really
for it,
made
right?
something that was for that? So I am so excited about this. So we have Release, which is a true vacuum aid. So this is going to do everything that paint gloss does that we loved. It's going to cut the static barrier. It's going to make your vacuum process a lot quicker. It's going to make you more efficient. But we've added a few things.
So we have it's got an anti-soil component. So it's going to help kind of keep your carpet cleaner.
Yeah.
It's gonna, it's gonna break that static barrier. It's got a great fragrance.
Yes, so it has an odor neutralizer too.
And an odor neutralizer.
Because what we realized, so the vacuum aid, it's gonna help with everything. Dirt, sand, glitter, and of course dog hair. So it's gonna help lift all of that stuff out of the carpets. But what we have found over the years is that a lot of these carpets, they may not need shampooed, they may not need, steamed, but everything can kind of have a little bit of funk over the time, right? So this also has an odor neutralizer.
Yes.
So it's going to leave behind a very fragrant, like a clean fragrance, but it's going to neutralize the odors, not just mask them, which is really nice. So I'm going to do a quick demo over here. I'm going to use the vacuum. I'm going to show you what it's like without it and then with it. And so what I found in my shop is it literally cuts my time in half. It makes the carpet blacker. In this case, obviously it's black, so it kind of like cleans the surface just a little bit, and then provides an anti-static for the resoiling, right?
Right.
So
Well, there are two different things actually.
Yeah, okay.
There's an anti-soil and also an anti-stat.
Okay, and that helps you for when the dog gets in the car the next time. The
Sure,
hair
it's
just
kind of
doesn't-
minimal,
Yeah.
I mean, but it makes a difference.
Right, and so I notice a difference. So this carpet's actually out of my car, so it probably will vacuum just fine because I've used this on this before, but it's really nice. I notice definitely a difference when I go to vacuum the next time. All right. Oh, that's been better on one. Okay, so we're doing the side without it, right?
And the dog hair left.
So it's getting part of the material, but we know, like, this is normal vacuuming, right? You have to go back over it several times, right? So then on this side, and so you only need just a couple sprays. You don't need a ton. I gotta go this way. I used this blue sand from yesterday. Should have glued the carpet down, huh? So if you can pick that up on camera, you can see where it's helping the dog hair come out and it's actually turning the carpet darker, right? So it's really nice. And even on like the seats, it helps, get them, get all the dog hair off, get all the sand off. So it's really nice. So it definitely, I would say, I try to vacuum without it and I just can't, especially on, those low pile carpets inside, so not the mats. It definitely just releases all of that, makes your vacuuming go way better, even with the crevice tool. I know for years I've tried to vacuum my own car without a vacuum aid and it just makes it so much better. So, and I know you guys don't have smell-o-vision, but it smells absolutely amazing.
So from
Great.
a tip and trick thing,
Yeah.
first thing is if the carpet's heavily soiled, right?
Yeah.
We want to
Oh,
brush
for
and vacuum
sure,
because
yeah.
if you introduce
sure.
release to dirt,
Yeah.
it'll make
Right.
mud. So this
Yeah.
is like this is your kind of your final vacuum touch-up process. And we're going to release this. This is released in a pint and a gallon, and then of course we have the secondary safety bottle available as well.
Which is
right?
exciting.
Yeah, and it's not dilutable though.
Right, yes.
Because
So
I know that's
it
one
is
thing.
ready to
Every
use,
detailer is going to go,
Yeah.
can we dilute it?
Yeah.
It's not designed to be diluted.
Right,
Yeah.
right, because it changes the weight of it all. Because it is one of those like light mist, right?
Well, yeah,
So-
you're not using very much anyway. I mean, it's kind of like the same reason the 8-ounce bottles work well with the polishes now. I mean, how much do you put on?
Yeah, little dots. Yeah.
Little dots. So little goes a long way.
So let's just recap. We released the new Creamsicle fragrance. We've added to our paint recovery system with intervention and then therapy. And of course, the paint correction products are going to impact the industry. We think this is like a new category.
Super exciting. So, Dane, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do actually have some questions, which I'm going to now direct to you the audience. Have you hit like yet? Have you subscribed to the Rag Company channel? And have you seen our awesome playlist with the rest of all these TR SEMA segments uncut and ready for you? If you haven't, then you should probably go check them out right now. Until next time, you have a good one.